Okay, Josh the driving instructor here, and today we're going to look at how to reverse bay park. Now, this is one of the least favourite manoeuvres, but I'm going to hopefully show you a nice simple method to get this right every time. Now there's two main ways to reverse bay park. Today we're going to look at the 3-line method.
So what is the 3-line method? Well, as you can see me here in my lovely red car, I've positioned it with one of the highlighted lines. If I positioned it correctly, all I should have to do is fully lock the wheel and gently reverse the car. That should take me into the 3rd bay from the highlighted line. Let's have a look at this step by step.
Now we tend to teach this one to learners just because it's a nice easy formula to learn. You can do it in your own car, your parents' car, or your driving instructor's car. It doesn't make any difference. All we have to do is adjust the reference point on the car. So for my car, my reference point is around halfway in the door, and that's all you got to do. You've got to find the reference point. So I've just put a little bit of tape here on my door so I know exactly where it is. Step 1 is to position yourself in the center of the road or closer to the left bays. Step 2 is to line your reference point up with one of the bay lines. Step 3, you're going to want to fully lock the wheel in the direction that you're planning to turn. So I'm planning to turn right, so I'm going to turn the wheel right, never the opposite way. Step 4, pop the car into reverse and have a good look around the car park. Just make sure it's clear. No cars, no people. Car comes nearby, you stop. People comes nearby, you definitely stop. Step 5, we want to start reversing the car into the space. So we need to make sure we're looking in that direction and using our super duper clutch control to keep this car at the speed of a snail. Okay, really important here. There is no bonus points for speed, so really try and keep it nice and slow here. Constantly looking around that car park just to make sure it's clear. Step 6 is continue reversing, looking in the direction that you are going until you believe you're straight. Now, how do you get a judge of this? Well, if you look ahead, you can see the bays in front, and I'm just lining myself up with those lines, any reference point you like really, but I'm using those lines in the bays in front to decide if I'm straight, and I think I'm pretty straight there. So I'm full locked, so all I have to do is turn the wheel 1.5 turns. Don't worry about dry steering, as long as you get it in the bay, that's the important thing. I then look behind me and I continue reversing, just checking those side mirrors and continue reversing back towards that curb. Now I'm not going to be able to use the reverse bay sensors here because there's a curb there, so they're not really going to work properly. But what I can do is I can continue back until I believe I'm just about in the bay, stop the car, have a look at the curb further down, decide if I think, yes, my car's fairly close to that. Then we look at the line in front, the end of the lines, and decide, do we think the bonnet's inside that line? Again, I believe my bonnet is inside the line, so I'm quite happy with that. At that point, you just handbrake, neutral, and your maneuver is over. Well done.
The question is, what do we do if it all goes wrong? If we end up too near to the closest line, this means we probably haven't quite positioned the car perfectly when we started the maneuver, but don't worry, we can still fix this. All we need to do is straighten up that wheel by turning the wheel 1.5 turns. Then we need to put the car back at around 0.5 meter, or just so the back wheel looks like it's going to be inside the line, and then fully lock in the direction you're looking again. The question is, what happens if we miss the bay and start going towards the end line? If you can't see that far line, by the time you get to this position, chances are you're not going quite in the bay, but do not panic. We can still fix this. All you need to do is pop the car into first gear and just use that bay in front to line yourself up. Gently pull the car forward as if you're going into the bay. It's okay if your bonnet's just sticking in there, but you don't want to put the whole car in there, because at the end of the day, there could be another car in the bay, and that's what the examiner's going to expect you to be thinking when doing this maneuver. Try and do all the hard work when going forward. What I mean by that, you don't want the car to end up in a funny angle when you're going towards the bay in front. Otherwise, it's going to make your life really difficult when going back. And then all you're going to have to do is just to reverse the car straight back into the bay behind you.
Now do try and remember, on the reverse bay park, you are absolutely fine to go forward, correct the positioning, and then reverse back again. This might end up as a minor, but who cares, as long as the reverse bay is successful. If that's helped you, please do like and subscribe, and you will see what's coming up next.